System, you have prayed him.
Okay, thank you so much, Mercy. Well, today is our last day of the week, and I'm going to be the lead teacher. With me, Mr. Abima Adrian is with us, and also Mr. Chebet Milton is also with us to help me in attending to some of your questions. So I encourage you to keep your questions flowing through the chat room. If you don't get a chance to be picked, to air out your question verbally. On Tuesday, we introduced ourselves to transpiration, and we said that transpiration is the process by which plants lose water in form of water vapor, mainly through the stomata, which are always beneath or on the undersides of leaves. But we said that transpiration can also occur through stems and flowers. Through stems, there are small openings called the lenticels, and the flowers also have stomata. Then we said that the plants not only lose water in form of water vapor, they can also lose their water in form of droplets. This water passes through special structures we call the hydrothons, which are always found on the leaf margins. And of course, we said that we shouldn't confuse guttation with condensation or with dew. Dew is formed as a result of condensation. Then we looked at this experiment that we can do to show that indeed it is true, transpiration always takes place through the leaves. That if you cover a bunch of leaves on a plant with a polythene bag or with a polythene paper, and you wait for about 3 to 6 hours, you'll find when water droplets have condensed on the walls of the polythene, being an indicator that indeed it is true, water is lost through transpiration. And how do you confirm that those droplets are actually water droplets, pure water in this case, and very clean water? Of course, depending on the hygiene of the polythene that you used, but it's supposed to be very, very clean water. So you would test that water using the chemistry knowledge that we have, using chemicals like anhydrous copper 2 sulfate and the cobalt 2 chloride paper. Then we introduce ourselves to the factors that affect the rate of transpiration. We explained the roots. We discussed about the size of the leaves. Then we also discussed the leaf structure. But on the leaf structure, we had just introduced ourselves to the cuticle, the waxy cuticle, which you discussed yourselves, whereby we said that the waxy cuticle is like jelly smeared on the surfaces of leaves. No wonder that's why you always see leaves shining. From a distance, you see those leaves, the leaf surface is always shining. The reason why they are shining is because on their surface they are smeared with the jelly, but this jelly, of course, in plants we are calling it doesn't allow water to pass through. Just like every morning you take a shower, after showering, you smear yourself with petroleum jelly so that your skin cells do not lose water by evaporation. So also plants also have their own natural jelly. And by the way, if you ever notice, you always notice that it is always the upper surface which is shining. The lower surface does not shine. The lower surface is very, very dull for some reasons which you shall see later. Then, of course, we tried to recall these parts, the names of these parts, the upper epidermis, the palisade mesophyll cells, the spongy mesophyll cells, these ones which are irregular shaped. These ones are the veins composed of the vascular tissues, the xylem and the phloem, then the lower epidermis. Then also we discussed about the number of stomata, the number of stomata. So stomata, of course, you can view these ones with a microscope. You cannot view them with your naked eyes. You need a microscope. These are the tiny openings that open into the inside, into this inside of the leaf. So when water accumulates within this leaf, then if these stomata open, then that water will pass out. If these stomata keep closed, then the water within the leaf will not be lost. So there won't be any transpiration to take place. So the more the stomata that the leaf has, obviously, the higher the rate of transpiration. So those are the two aspects that we discussed on Tuesday. Then also on the stomata, we need to know that also the position of the stomata matters. Stomata can be positioned on either the upper surface of the leaf or on the lower surface of the leaf. So obviously, if we have more stomata...
Milton. Teacher Milton.
Mr. Bima, this is Teacher Arthur teaching.
Yes, I know. I was trying to find out whether he was seeing your slide because mine has disappeared. I don't know whether it's mine only. Are you sharing your slide?
Yes, girls, can you see my slide?
Yes,
Yes, we
teacher.
can see.
Yes, teacher.
Okay,
Yes,
then it could be
teacher.
mine. It's okay. Sorry for that.
Okay. Okay, so I was still saying that okay, the stomata can be positioned either on the upper surface or on the lower surface of the leaf. Now, if I ask you, dear girls, to explain to me or to explain or to discuss, what do you think would happen if a plant had more stomata on the lower surface than on the upper surface? I want you to tell me how the rate of transpiration would be affected, and also give you explanation of why that thought. The question once again is, what would happen? Explain what would happen to the rate of transpiration if the plant had, or if the leaf had more stomata on the lower surface and fewer stomata on the upper surface. Okay, Angel.
Teacher, I think if a plant has more stomata on the lower surface than on the upper surface, the rate of transpiration will be low because the I don't know, maybe like surface area, but for okay, because the passages for the water are the sun hits the top surface. So if it hits the top surface and water is going to come out of those fewer stomata on the top surface than on the lower surface, it means the rate of transpiration is going to be lower. But if it was vice versa, it would be higher since there are more stomata at the top, I think.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well explained. Then another person also to give us their view. Amelia.
I think if there are less stomata on the top and more stomata on the lower side of the leaf, there will be less transpiration because the upper side of the leaf is more exposed to the sunlight. So there will be a less rate of transpiration than when it is vice versa.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much, Amelia. Okay, well, yes, that is correct. Remember, the upper surface of the leaf is that which is exposed to direct sunlight. And remember the effect of sunlight on drying our clothes. It is like if you wash your mat and you put that mat on sunshine or in sunlight, of course, the upper surface is exposed